Alright guys, so we're going to handle 2.1 today, which is relationships between two categorical variables. The data I have here is from a previous class that I've taught, and we went over, broken the class up into male and female categories, and then talked about the type of toy that they liked out of these 5 choices here, okay? So we have our Barbie, Legos, Ninja Turtles, video games, and dress-up clothes, okay? So that's what we calculated on there as far as getting our data. And now the first question is, are the variables gender and type of toy quantitative or categorical? Well, gender and type of toy, they're both words, right? They're not actual numbers. We're not talking about the count of how many people liked Barbies or how many people liked Ninja Turtles. We're just talking about the actual type of toy and gender. In which case, both of those, are categorical. Okay? Categorical. Alright. So, with this, let's think about this too just a little bit further and simply saying that what about the simple fact of the type of gender or the type of toy, what does what? What explains and what gets a response? Well, in this case, the gender, okay, the gender is our explanatory variable, okay? In other words, it's explaining on what type of toy should be selected, right? Because our response is the type of toy. So our explanatory variable, depending upon male or female, is going to respond by telling us what type of toy they probably like. Now, granted, that's stereotypical, especially nowadays, but it's just in this little survey we did, that's how it played out, okay? So, with that, let's see what we got next. So which variable would best explain or predict the other variable, okay? So that goes into talking about what we just talked about, right? As far as predict which would best explain or predict the other variable. Well, explanatory, so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at our gender. Right. Let's see here. So we're going to say our gender would best explain or predict the other variable. Alright, so making a segmented bar graph. So to do this, we're going to need a relative frequency, okay? So to determine our relative frequencies, we need to get some counts here. So overall, with the males, let's add them up here. We got 9, 13, 20, 21. So we have total of 21 males. And on females, they have 18, 19, so then we got 30, we got 34. 34 females, okay? So with this, let's see what we have here. Change colors here, so I'm going to try to make things a little bit more easier to keep up with. Alright, so let's go ahead and make this our relative frequency. And let's see what those relative frequencies are. So we're going to do this for each section, okay? For the male and the Barbies, and female and the Barbie, the male and Legos, female and Legos, and so forth. So we're going to set this up kind of the same way we have there, right? So I'm going to label We'll label the red, we'll say, got our males. And we'll say, we'll do purple, and we'll do females. Okay. So for the males, we should have, initially we have one male as Barbie out of 21. So our relative frequency is 1 out of 21, which will give us, I already did the calculations, make it a little bit faster, so 4.76%. Okay, then we have, for Legos, we have 8 out of 21, which will give us 38%. Then we have 4 out of 21 for the Ninja Turtles, which gives us 19%. And 7 out of 21 for video games, which gives us 33.3%. And the dress-up clothes, well, we've already done 1 over 21. We know that's going to be 4.76 again. So I'll write it down here again just so no one gets confused, things we skipped over. So 1 over 21, which is 4.76%. Alright. So with our females, alright, so with our females, we had 10 out of 34, and that should give us 29%. And then we had 8 out of 34, and it's going to give us 23. And then we had 1 out of 34. On our Ninja Turtles, 1 out of 34 gave us 2.9%. And let's see, we had 11 out of 34. Our video games, which gave us 32.4%. And we had our last one was 4 out of 34 for the dress-up clothes. And that came out to be 11%. Okay. So now we have the relative frequencies here to be able to make our segmented bar graph. Okay. So scroll down a little bit there. And to do this, let's go ahead and make some colors here, so we can get this all set up. We'll say Barbies are red. We'll say Legos, we'll put them in the green. Oh no, we can't put them in the green. We got Ninja Turtles as green. Ninja Turtles are green. Alright, we'll put dress-up clothes, we'll put purple, just give us some color there. And let's see what other colors we got. We'll do orange for Legos. And then video games, we'll do blue. Okay. Now let's go ahead and make up our segmented bar graph. So I'm going to start out here. We're going to come down here to the bottom. Our bottom here, and then we'll do our top. Okay. So we know that we're going to have males, we're going to have females, and we're going to start out with having a 0 over here for a percentage, and it's going to go up to 100, right? So we're going to be dealing with our relative frequencies. So our relative frequencies. All right. So now that we have our relative frequencies, to make a segmented bar graph, they're both going to equal to 100%, right? Because we both need them to equal 100. If you were to go over here and add these values, that'll equal 100. Now, to make this a little bit easier to read, we're going to kind of round some of these to make them a little bit easier to plot, because I don't feel like putting in 2.9% and so forth. But we could, in a sense, it doesn't really need to look as pretty. In fact, let's do it that way. Let's just leave the decimals as they are. Let's just do it that way. So we're going to go here and we're going to say that we have, so we are male 1, right? Okay. And then our females are going to be right here. I know it's not the prettiest, straightest segmented bar graph. We're going to make it work. Alright, so going with this, let's see here. We're going to say we got, for the Barbie, we're going to say we got like 5% here. Okay, and then we got to go for the Legos, we're going 38%. So we'll say that's somewhere like right around in here. 38%. And then we're going to say 19% for Ninja Turtles. And then we got to go another 33% for video games. And that should leave us with our last little 5% right up there up top. So with that, we're going to go ahead and write this in. We're saying our red with Barbie, we started all the way down here. So I'm just going to label this as 4.76%. And then we're going to go with Legos, in which case we had 38%. Okay, then we had Ninja Turtles as 19%. And then we had video games as 33.3%. And then we had dress up clothes was back at 4.76. So let's go ahead and put that back here at 4.76. Goodness. Maybe write this a little bit better here. 4.76%. Alright, so now we need to do it for the females. So to get these, we can go ahead and let's say for the Barbies it was 29%, so I'm going to say somewhere around in here. And then we went 23%, I'll say somewhere around in here for Legos. And then 2.9% for Ninja Turtles, so I'll make a little bitty bar right there. And then we had 32.4 32.4, and then 11 up there up top. Okay, so back to here with this one for 29. I went to orange for Legos, and we had 23. Then we had green, Ninja Turtles, and I had 2.9. Poor Ninja Turtles, only 2.9% of the girls liked them. Alright, and then we got video games. At least the ladies like the video games still, so 32.4. And then our last little bit here with the dress-up clothes, only 11%. Which is a little bit more than the males in that case. So, as you can see, you can do it this way, which is doing the colors like that, but you could also do in the segments here, you could do different shading qualities, different little lines and designs, but you need to make a key to make that work. So what I did here is I made the key. Alright, so so my key is right here. So how does it say the key is right there? I don't want to rewrite it, but we just use those colors, so therefore you know what is what, because you have to do that, okay? You have to label not only relative frequency, and then your male and female, and as far as having a key here, so relative frequency, male, female, and your key, and then color coding or design, different design. Like I said, you're going to put shading in there for it, or different little lines, things like that to draw. That's how a segmented bar graph is done. Okay, so number 4, how was the percent for male Legos calculated? Interpret the percent. Well, if we go up here and we look to see, we had, let's see, the Legos, what was this? Male and Legos was 8/21, right? So for male and Legos, we simply took this and put it right in here. We already did this to determine it, right? We simply took 8/21, which gave us 38%. So interpret the percent, so it's saying 38% of the males let's say use Legos. Okay, so 38% of the males use Legos. And number 5 here, it says, is there an association between gender and type of childhood toy? If so, describe. Well, in this case, yes. So if we look at this, the biggest thing it went for here is males seem to have gone for Legos primarily, and females preferred video games most. So on this, because there is a difference, there is an association between the genders. So we can simply say yes, males chose Legos more, and females chose video games, and females chose video games. All right. Well, I hope that helps explain a little bit more on the segmented bar graph and how that needs to play out. Again, don't forget, label all your axes and put a key in there. And make sure when you're doing your relative frequencies, you're going off and looking at your total values for whatever categorical value you're looking for. All right, guys. See you next time.